Join me on the first day of spring break as I head out to the new property to build my first shelter out there. Picked up enough lumber and concrete to do the posts. Got the post hole digger, and it's time to set posts now. It is definitely spring. It was raining off and on all day, and it eventually poured on me. I got 2 of the 6 posts in. Gonna be 8 feet in back, gonna be 10 foot in front. Doesn't matter what I do, I always get a little off. Here I'm working on a 3, 4, 5 foot rule to get my 90 degree. So I can go measure and put the front posts in. Couple left to do. Started raining pretty good. I was able to use the tractor as a forklift in a way to get those upper beams on. Got the back 2 beams done. Tomorrow I'm going to build the back wall and scrape out some of the grass so I can get it nice and level for gravel and mats. Found this old rickety ladder in one of the barns. It was pretty sketchy, but it worked. I broke 2 tape measures, but I had a good time. I'll get more video tomorrow as I start the roof, finish the beams, do some scraping, and start the back wall. This is one of 4 shelters going in, and thanks for following, and God bless. Happy Tuesday. Join me while I feed the horses at the new place, and then head to Home Depot for some more lumber so I can continue working on one of the shelters. Hello, Kenza, Simon, and Finnegan. Spring is in the air. It's starting to warm up. Man, we're getting some rain. Hello, Liberty. Hello, Breve. Time to get started on the shelter. Gonna start with the side 2x6s. And for the siding I use T111, which is an 8-inch on center. It was really windy. That took off like a kite. I have to make sure the ground is level before I put the bottom sill down. And lots of cutting. Just getting everything nice and level, nice and plumb. A few more screws. And of course, more cutting. There's the framing for the left side. Now I can start putting the siding on the back. Got a little bit of rain today, but the sun did break through and warmed up. Here I'm framing out the door. A little chalk line. Quick snack. And I had to stop and feed the horses dinner. I went and got some Timothy from our main place, brought it out to these guys, and then back to work. Putting some trim on the doors and getting them hung. I got both doors up today. Tomorrow I'll frame above the doors, and then I'll start the right side and also get the rafters. Thanks for joining. God bless and good night. Join me for another day out at the new property. Started with unloading some gates we bought and feeding the ponies. Hello, Liberty. Back to the main barn to feed those guys. Got some hungry ponies. And then back out to keep working on the shelter. Today my goal is to finish the back wall and then get the inside all leveled out because we have some gravel coming tomorrow. I was blessed with some sunshine today. A quick lunch break. And back to it, leveling out the ground. Getting the last back panel on. And there it is. I gotta pick up some door trim and fix that hole above the first door. But I'll do that tomorrow when I finish the sides. As soon as we can get the gravel in, I can start on the roof. I'm making my lines for the front so I know where I can cut the beams at. I'm moving the pre-existing rope fencing just for a temporary fix so I can keep the horses out. Taking out the posts that were already in there. Gonna save this hardware for the gate that was there. Nice little 6-footer. Needed the tractor to get this beam out. And then I spent a good 3 hours leveling all the ground, using the tractor, using the shovel, up and down, driving dirt here and there. And this is what it looked like. Ready for some gravel tomorrow. First, I'm gonna get some old carpet to put down, and that'll keep the mud from coming up through the rock. Thanks for following. God bless and good night. Join me for day 4 on the new shelter. As always, I'm starting with the morning feed and then taking the tractor down to the new property. Hello, Liberty. Feeding those 4 horses down there, just in time for the gravel to show up. I'm gonna spread out this load while the gentleman goes to get a new load of gravel. A lot of raking and shoveling today. I am sore. There's a rough level of the first batch, and he's back just in time for the second batch. Spent over 3 hours of raking and shoveling and leveling. Had a nice visit from the girls. More shoveling, filling in those low spots. And there it is. It's ready for some horse mats. I had some leftover gravel, so I did the entryway too. Quick lunch break. Gonna share a snack with Breve. There you go, buddy. Now I'm gonna do a hand tamper to compact it. And then my least favorite part of all of horse stall building, laying out the rubber mats. They're so hard to cut and they're so heavy. And that's what it looks like. 16 mats down, a little bit of rain, off to the store to get wood to do the siding. Working on the siding, getting those boards set in. Using the tractor as a ladder here to get the front beams leveled. And I'm also using the truck as a ladder to get those beams hung. My roofing comes in tomorrow. I'm excited to start roofing this thing, but I'm gonna do the siding first. Yeah, I'm just monkeying around a little bit. Some supports to help the studs stay together, and that's what I did today. Thanks for following along. God bless. Join me for day 5 of working on the new horse stall. First, a quick feed. Hello, Oscar. Hello, Artax. And good morning, Sheen. And then out to work. I was blessed with another day of sunshine. My goal today was the siding and to make sure all the doors were complete on the back end.
Now go. Anna pooping.
Another quick visit from the girls. Always love that. And there's one side done. I had to move the fence that I already moved once. A little more cutting. And I have both sides up. Now to work on the doors. I had run out of the blue boards, so I went to the store and got more. Some more hardware. And I'm gonna fix that little patch above the door I left undone. And there it is. I do have more trim to go on all the corners, so I'll work on that tomorrow. There's a bird joining me during this voiceover. The girls are off to do some of their own chores. And off to Home Depot to get wood for tomorrow. Finish with the dinner in the in-laws' backyard, and then off to prep for breakfast. Thanks for joining. Tomorrow I'm going to work on the roof.
I'm moving the cart. What are you doing?
Have a great night, and God bless. Good morning. Welcome to day 6 of working on the new horse stall. Putting up the last piece of siding. Starting on the center wall to split the stall into 2. There's my progress so far. Had my niece Sienna come out and help me a little bit.
Now gun it. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, right too. Hey, I can see a hole. How's that?
It's always fun having the kiddos out to give me a hand. Teach them a thing or two. Putting in some support beams along the side. 16 feet was just a really long run. Next time I will concrete the beams in. And there's where we did so far.
Boom. So good. Okay, you're
now we're putting up some 1/2-inch CDX along the inside just to reinforce the walls. And then my oldest niece Riley came out to help me a little bit. Then I had an appointment, and after my appointment, I came back and it was time to bring some Timothy out to the new pasture. Those horses eat alfalfa and Timothy, and I was just about out of Timothy out there for my morning feed. Just got 5 tons of alfalfa, so we're not going to run out of that. And then I'm going to bring a couple bales of Timothy to the retired field. During the winter, I was putting 8 in our feeder, but with the grass coming in nicely, I'm just going to put a couple bales out and check it in a week. They've been grazing. They're all a little plump right now. That's 2 bales. Starting to warm up here. Going to be 60 degrees Fahrenheit all week, so I'm going to take all the blankets off the horses. Give them a good brushing. Here's Simon getting his blanket off. He was pretty sweaty under there. I went over and did Valencius next, but I could not catch Mac. So I'll have to bribe him with some grain later. After that, Time to clean stalls. And then the kids and I helped my wife take the blankets off of Obi and Dakota. Well, after we prepped some grain for breakfast, of course.
This one needs a lot of grain.
Akira is such a good helper. I thought this was a pretty shot. There's my beautiful wife bringing in Obi and Dakota. And Toru and Akira and I are giving Dakota a good brushing. Akira gave him some grain. She spilled a little bit, so she decided to clean it up. After that, I gave Dakota a quick feet pick. Cleaned out his feet a little bit. Used some purple on any thrush he might be getting out in that wet dirt he's been in. And that was my Saturday. Thank you all for joining. If you watched all the way through, thank you so much. Have a great night and God bless. And tomorrow I hope to get the roof on the new stall. Good evening and happy Sunday. It's my last day of spring break. Day 7 of working on the new horse shelter. Had some projects to do around the house first. And looks like Cam loosened the wire a bit. There's the guilty guy. So first, before I can get working on the shelter, I'm going to fix this fence. It was turned off last night. Someone forgot to turn it back on, so Cam decided to play with it a little bit. Luckily, it was a quick fix, and I was able to get started on the horse shelter. First thing I need to do is get all the roofing joists put up. I did the 2 ends so I could make it nice and square. Then I got all the others put up there. Everything measured out 2 feet apart. On center. Did an 8-inch overhang off the back and 3'4" off the front. Just about done with the back joist here. And that's what it looks like, all finished up. And then I went and did the front. Now I have 1/2-inch plywood to get up on the roof. My niece Riley was there helping me again. She pulled them all out back for me. There's a lot of help. Of course, I measured wrong. I needed 15 pieces of plywood and I only ordered 12. So unfortunately, I was not able to finish this in 7 days. Tomorrow I'm back to work teaching, so I'll have to pick up this chore after my days in the classroom. Luckily, we have 60-degree days all week. It's coming along. And there it is, all I had time for today. Riley driving me back out. Home for a nice hot cooked meal. Pick up the kiddos from Grandma's house. Thanks for following along. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and God bless. Join me while I head out after feeding horses to continue working on the newest horse shelter. My goal today is to get the roof on. It's been painted during the week while I was at work. Nice to come back to that. I'm going to add 3 more 2x6s to the center wall. And that's what it looks like. Tall enough to keep the horses from getting too nosy with each other. Outside to put up some trim. And then I was 3 pieces of plywood shy on the roof, so I needed to get those up there. Out to the front for some front trim. And there it is with the trim, the last of the plywood, and that center wall. Now it's time to lay out some felt paper. I ran out of felt paper, so back to the barn, where I saw my beautiful wife finishing up her mow job on that last pasture.
Okay.
Quick horse check as you see them all laying down in the field, just making sure they're all doing okay.
There's 2 more dead horses.
They are all taking an afternoon nap.
Hey, Kenzie, how you doing?
There's
Oh, good.
Kenza
Sleeping.
there.
Okay.
Sheen sleeping.
You're fine. I don't have time for your
Picked up my niece Kaya when I went back to the barn.
Yeah, that one.
She wanted to come help me for a bit.
You can't video me.
Wanted to run the camera. I got the cross braces up. Now it's time to put the 20-foot metal panels on the roof. Kaya was helpful today. I was able to hand them up and she'd drag them up to the front for me. 1 screw in the back. Made sure everything was square before I went back and screwed everything else in. Little goofball. Now for some trim along the roof line. And then back to put all the screws in. And that was my afternoon. All it needs left is a couple hay feeders inside. And then a fence down the middle to make that into 2 different pastures. Pretty awesome to be able to do that in 8 days. Thanks for following. Stay tuned for part 3, and God bless.